a whole nation. Who are you, Russian guy? Go back to Russia. You know what we are saying? We don't have time for you here in Kenya. Here in Kenya, we have serious things to discuss. Do you get what I'm saying? We have things like people are dying. We have things like bad governance. We have things like education issues. So, Mr. Russian guy, if the women have accepted you, take them, go with them to Russia. But you cannot come here and say, it is wrong to do what, it is wrong to do what were you going there to do? Because most of those women sometimes, they just are money mongers.
Yeah, sure.
I know you are given something by the, did you tell us how much you are given by the Russian guy? So you want us to make you a national figure for what? For having sex? Now today, at the people online, me, I built a pure blockchain system. People don't want it to trend. But someone that is coming from a confused person coming from a great nation, now we want to make it trend in Kenya. At Jira. Go away. In fact, don't just Russia. Let's bring Chinese guys, Russian guys, Indonesian guys. Come. Because that's your own choice. As long as it's not underage, and as long as it's not rape, even if it's, you are 40 and you have been raped, we will talk.
Yeah.
But as long as none of them is saying they were forced, they were raped, because if you look at those clips, are you seeing any force there?
No.
So it was your choice.
Fagilia TV wanafagia news zote, wanakuletea vitu moto moto. Subscribe to Fagilia TV.
My own boundaries, and you don't need to preach those boundaries to me. I have been ministering for this long. I have an idea of what spirits look like. This was their culture. I did not ask for it. They felt that I should be honored for what I've done for those people in that little time. And I don't know if the question you have asked, I don't know in what capacity, but as far as bursaries are concerned, yes, I have an opportunity to lead as far as bursaries are concerned, you know, and little things. But for me, I love the people of Kibera. In case you don't know, nilikuwa nafanya squad huko nikiwa naendesha mat when I used to drive matatus, public transport. So I know Kibera, yani Olimo huko kwote, najua Kibera vizuri sana. So Kibera is my home. I don't need an invite to come to Kibera. How are you invited home? So you just go home when you want to go home. So Kibera is
maybe working with them to implement these projects or policies that will see the project come to life.
Now, you can only work with who you wants you to work with. I have tried to work with our government, but you see, unfortunately, when people get to before people get to positions, people are very, you know, they share with you, you talk, but when people get to certain positions, imagine I've been making, Gen Zs, you found me in the race, I've been making noise for 3 years, trying to get attention for one benefit alone, and that's why I've repeated again, no leader in this nation has given me a shilling. If you have, I dare you. Don't talk about 10 bob. Let's just do 1 bob. If you have given John C.W., I dare you to rise as a leader in this nation. If I wanted money, do you really think I wouldn't have gotten money from this government? But there's a reason why I moved back. The issue is very simple. We have ideas. We are willing to work with whoever. I'm not trying to fight for anything. I just want a better Kenya where the youths are catered for, the elderly needy are catered for. The other time I saw that the elderly needy had come in their thousands to see the president. Did you see the video? But they were neglected at the gate, saying, let's even assume that those people are not in the what do you call it, in the list, or rather the PA of the president. You know, let's assume they did not put him, and then you had in your bedroom, because they were there, I had at around 3-4 a.m. Me, I would come out with pajamas. I wouldn't care. I want to come. These are people that have come from far. For God's sake, just, even if you would set another date, come out and say, you know what, what's the problem? Mau Mau, whatever, oh, these ones have lost. Okay, fine, I did not know. But now that I know, here is some little transport. Please come on a certain, so that we can be able. But this issue, I know that I've heard that the abroad government has released this money, but the money is not being given to the elderly people. Just give them what belongs to them. Now, the reason I've said that is this. Tried, my brother. I have tried. I had the contact of the president directly. I had the contact of the former deputy president directly. I had the contacts of ministers directly. I have tried the much I can to tell them, look, I know you think the word pastor is just a guy that thinks about offering and tithe. Those are your pastors. We have also equally gone to school. God has given us the grace to articulate things, and we have an idea where the nation can go. The problem most of the time is that the older you get, the more you think you're wise. And age is not a proof of wisdom. Wisdom comes from God. The Bible says, does anyone lack wisdom? Let him ask, not let him grow. So you don't grow wise, you receive wisdom from God. Second point. You remember I came to Kibera, right? I hope I'm not, politically, politicians just give short answers. You know I'm not a politician, so you have to give me, I think, to Sarangombe, which is now where Kamukunji is, if I'm not wrong. So there are approximately 630 acres. The poverty in Kibera is manufactured. Why? You don't deal with poverty by consumption. You don't create opportunities to consume, which is the same with handouts. Handouts cannot change a nation. Now, please, I know that eventually people, I know not of you, all of you listening to me are born again, or you have had the chance to listen to me before. But before you abuse someone, would you just mind, let's use our common understanding. Let's use our mind. Let's apply our mind. We don't want to know what tribe you are. We don't want to know what party you represent. You can represent our party. We are not here to talk about parties. We are not here to talk about one or two. We don't care about those things. We are talking about intelligence that can be able to save a nation. If Kibera is 630 acres, and then you give handouts, what have you done? You are creating more consumption capability, right? The only way to deal with poverty is production. Production is found in Genesis chapter 1. And I'm going to teach it one day. But the man that was given an opportunity, his work is to produce. Produce. If you have 630 acres, I'd like to ask you a question. Area MCAs, areas members of parliament and whatever. How many companies are in Kibera? So is Kibera generally a consumption zone or a production zone? I want to ask you the question. Is Kibera a consumption zone or a production zone? Apart from producing babies.
Consumption.
I'm not talking about producing children. Is it production or consumption?
Consumption.
So if a place is more consumption than production, do you expect wealth or poverty?
Poverty.
Why?
People are,
So then how do you deal with that issue? Remember, if right now here in this home, I have quarter an acre, I don't really have quarter an acre. I have quarter an acre as far as the heavens can go. So I have like 1 million acres, 2 billion acres, do you understand? And that's what Japan did. Japan, nations like Singapore has approximately 6 million people. So they don't have a lot of property, so they build focusing upwards so that they can create more room down here to do other things. Now, that's the same thing you need to do in Kibera. You build upwards, then you reduce the land. You say we want 200 acres for production in Kibera. Do you know you can get it? Then you now use 430 acres upwards. You build skyscrapers, whatever that was on these 230 acres, you manipulate it on what is remaining on 430, so that within these 230 acres, you can have production of food, you can have production of minerals, assuming they are there. You can have, basically you can focus on production. But I would like to challenge the people of Kibera. The more you keep making your leaders, I know it's not you, but the more you make your leaders to make that territory look like it's a war zone, the more you make people fear to come and invest there. That's why I've told you the poverty in Kibera is manufactured. Now someone can say, oh, so and so tried. I am not so and so. Even Adam had tried. But the Bible says Jesus came as a second Adam. So you cannot tell me that that's because someone tried it before me, that should tell me anything. Shouldn't tell me anything. So are you telling me, someone was telling me that from so and so pastors and see your see your fate. So are you telling me because you are a man, you can say that because you are a man, go learn from men because all men are rapists? Is that what you are saying? Are we all rapists because we are men? So you can't say because that person is a pastor and they failed or prospered, that automatically tells me. No, you have your own path to create, you have your own journey to go, and at the end of it all, it works. So my plan for Kibera is very simple. We can deal with this plan. 2, when the government makes houses, please government, stop pretending you are not aware. Those people living there have Range Rovers. Those houses should be given first priority to those people. If you go there, and let's say for example, you have broken a house, right? You go there, you have broken 3 houses. Take the numbers of those people in those houses, so that when you compensate, you have broken 1,000 houses. Take those numbers of people. When you make those houses, let it be given back to these same people. But when you leave this idea like that, people just come. You find that in Kibera, not that people should not prosper, that's not what I'm saying, but you are clearly saying that you're having a project for the poor people, but yet it's not the poor people reflecting in those houses. If we reduce the amount of ghetto land being used out of consumption and we bring it to production, we can change Kibera. Kibera can be a production zone, production of chickens, production of feeds, you know. And by the way, I saw this. Do you know if you take a project of this is now the project I want to bring to Kibera. I'm praying that the Church of Jesus Christ, apart from just, you know, trying to tell us how wrong we are, and, you know, I've seen prophets trying to tell me, oh, God showed them they are not the one. We don't care what we are. It doesn't matter to us. Jeremiah 29:11 says, I know the thoughts, I, not we. There is a place a prophet cannot see. The Bible says we speak in part, we prophesy in part. So, Mr. Prophet, calm down. We listen to God himself. So, God bless you for your prophetic point of view. Do you know if you have a company, let's enter into production, or you are bored with my thoughts?
No.
Let's assume you set a company that has 10,000 bags. Let me show you something. 10,000 bags. Okay? I've done this business before for meat production, approximately between 28 and 32 days. 28 and 32 days. You already have chicken worth approximately 1.2 to 1.6 kilos. Okay? Per chicken, you are going to look at approximately 180 to 200 profit. Okay? Approximately.
Yeah.
So if you do 200 times 10,000, how much is it? Media, juggle your head.
How much?
200. Don't use your calculator.
10 million.
200 times, that's 2 million.
2 million.
I want to show you something. I'm just talking about 10,000 bags.
Yeah.
If in assumption, go and ask someone in Kibera how much money, what 10,000 means to them in a month. Do you have an idea what that means to them? That's a lot of money in Kibera.
Yeah.
A lot of money. If you are giving, for example, 1,000 shillings, okay?
Yeah.
Because right now we don't even have as many people making that money.
Yeah.
And then, so how many people can be fed by 2 million? Let's assume that 2%, because I've done it before. I know now a critic will enter there, all chickens will not be alive. Just keep quiet. You know, sometimes be positive in your mind. We know what you want to say. So 2% of this, let's even say 1.8 million, right?
Yeah.
1.8 million.
Yeah.
How many people are those if someone is working for 10,000 shillings a month?
180.
That's 180 people. One project. That's what I want to do. I want to bring a project that can employ 180 people. So let's assume the government does 100,000 birds. If 10,000 birds is approximately 180, so 100, let's say 200 people. 1,000 birds, 100,000 birds.
That's
2,000.
That's
1,800 to 2,000.
1,800 to 2,000
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
You see the power of production?
Yeah, sure.
So what would that place be known? Remember, you have reduced the acreage from 600, you have gotten like 100 acres to deal with production,
Yeah.
right? How many acres will it take to produce these chickens? Approximately 1 acre.
Yeah, sure.
1 acre or 2 acres can produce these chickens. Now, 1,800 people have gone back to work. I know someone here that does not want to understand what I'm saying, who still go back and say, but you know, I'm not talking to you. Pass to the next person. Just pause and then go to the next preacher or your favorite preacher. Let's talk to people that want to reason. We don't want to talk to ignorant people. Because even when Jesus was here, ignorant people. Can you imagine Lucifer is in heaven and he's so ignorant to think he can fight God? So what about earth? So ignorance is not something that, no, we can't tolerate ignorance. Let's just deal with mature people. So if you deal with such a production, you're looking at around 1,800 people that can get 10,000 approximately. Because those people will be going there every day, right? And making sure that the production of these things happen. I've just touched one. Imagine if we do 10 companies in Kibera. Just imagine what we can change in Kibera. That's why I've told you, poverty is manufa. Poverty doesn't exist. Proverbs says that the rich and the poor have something in common. God made them both. Now, turn this into a church, but we can deal with this issue. You need to learn to give to Caesar.
Yeah.
What do you give to Caesar? What belongs to Caesar? Currency, coins, taxes, whatever you want to think about. Then you give to God what belongs to God, which is very simple. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, your soul, and your spirit. Those are the things that belong to God. But when you just give to God and then you go and you fight Caesar, that's why I'm appealing to anyone that's trying to tell people not to pay tax. That's not a conversation we should talk. People should be able to pay tax, but the government should make sure that it... Let me tell you, I have no problem paying 40% tax. Do you understand? If you can see your 40% has done something. Christians and Kenyans are not stupid, but there is no need. I heard yesterday, was it yesterday or the day before, the government spent 43 million a day. 43 million a day. 43 million a day. Capitation money is 3 billion, and then the government was given not government, State House, not government. You know, government is wider. State House spent 43 million. capitation money is 3 billion, then State House allocated money is 12 billion. Does it even make sense? So it's more expensive to run State House, and it should be more expensive to run education.
Yeah, sure.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure.
Again, I'm repeating. It's an issue of leadership. So if we train people what the power of leadership, I had a minister of the gospel say that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He doesn't care who comes into power in 2027. Such languages are the reason why we don't have the right nation. It should matter to a pastor, the person that comes into power. You can't say that. It's like saying it doesn't matter when you are gone. Let's say you have gone abroad as a preacher to preach. It doesn't matter who you have left to stand for you. Does it even make sense? Does it have to affect the church in order for people, for the church to know that it's bad? Does it have to be about the president building an altar in State House for the church to come out and speak? Can the church come out and speak when, you know, children are dying? Can the church come out and speak when it's corruption? Can the bad governance? We have a very limited way of looking at life. And if the church will continue like this, unfortunately, Kenya is headed for a doom.
Talking about literacy, do you think it's maybe the right time for civic education to make sure that everyone maybe have the literacy, because we are now heading to the next election?
It should have been the right time from 1963. Because what's the difference between Singapore and Kenya in terms of independence? Singapore got independence, I think, in 1965, came out from the Malaysian Treaty, right?
Yeah, sure.
Civic education. The President Lee Kuan Yew came out and gave civic education, the need of dealing with corruption, the need of dealing with bad governance, the need of dealing with education, the need of bad education, the need of dealing with tribalism. I hope you know he only had 4 languages, among them is Chinese and English. We have a lot we can teach the people. But what's the difference between Singapore and Kenya in terms of independence? They are more or less twins in terms of the period of time they got independence. But look at where Singapore is today. The ship line of Singapore is the second in the world. Do you understand that? Education of Singapore is among the best. Talk about things like special economic zones. We have big companies operating in there. But I need to tell you this. Are you aware that Singapore is an island? Are you aware that Singapore has approximately only 6 million, 6 million citizens?
Yeah.
Are you aware that Singapore does not have many meaningful minerals? Are you aware that Singapore does not have land? Are you aware that Singapore is trying to get more land from the ocean? So what is the big difference of Singapore and Kenya? Leadership. And if we raise leaders, forget politicians for a minute, just raise leaders. Remember, a politician says, I want. A leader says, what do you want? A politician asks, can you give me? A leader asks, what do you want me to give you? Those are two different people.
On that perspective, are you going to Singapore? Do you think Kenya, in this generation, we are going to reach Singapore?
We don't need to go to Singapore. We just need to go where Kenya should go. Why should Singaporeans say we are going to Kenya? I've told you the time frame of independence is more or less the same.
Yeah, sure.
So that's why, in my view, we should be, equivalating ourselves with them. We should be where Singapore is. I am not looking at corruption from this government alone. Corruption should, if you want to deal with corruption, start from 1963. Start from stolen properties. Start from how much money has been stolen. By the way, I did a calculation. How much money has been stolen from 1963? I want to challenge you. How much money has been stolen from 19... I did not say from 2022. I said 1963. Someone is saying, oh, Bishop, where will you get the former presidents? Again, it's common sense. They have families, right?
Yeah.
They have those things they left to families. Some questions people ask is just a sign of, let's mature. We don't have a lot of time on earth. Yeah. So let's ask only questions that are relevant. Yeah. The reason why people compare themselves with Singapore is because of our time frame in terms of independence. Yeah. Kenya should have been even more. By the way, let me make this statement. If you look at the African system, Dubai and Nigeria have no difference. Why? They both have one basic commodity which is superior to everything, which is oil. The question you want to ask yourself, why is Dubai where it is? And why is Nigeria where it is? It's not an issue of system, it's an issue of leadership. Because remember, systems don't create themselves. It is leaders that create systems. So if you want to change the system, create another type of leadership that can create another type of system. So if you look at Kenya where it is, education should be free. Healthcare should be free. There are so many minerals in this country that I'm assuming if Lee Kuan Yew had Kenya, and Kenya was in Singapore, Kenya would be dead. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, if we were in Singapore, we would be dead. First of all, which property would you be fighting for? If you have one, Singapore is hard because you have little property, so the government is aware of what is happening. But here in Kenya, just someone wakes up, takes a forest. Another person wakes up, takes what? Another person wakes up. It's like Kenya is up for grabs. It's like there is no law operating in Kenya. It's first come, first serve. We need to take Kenya where Kenya belongs. We need to take, I've told you the difference even of one nation, I've told you that mines diamond. It's among the poorest nations. Yet it mines the best diamonds in the world. But it's among the poorest nations. So how do you explain it? I saw the other day President Traore. They keep on wanting to kill him. You touch him. Touch him. Then you will know Africa is not France, Africa is not America, Africa is not all. Try touching that man. I'm not a Muslim. But this has nothing to do. How many Christians are bad people? How many Muslims are bad people? So this, don't hide in religion. We are looking for governance. Till now, I saw that during Valentine, I don't know how right it is, that they wanted to sabotage his government again, simply because he said, which I understand, he was talking about what Right Honorable Raila Odinga fought for, which is multipartyism. But when you listen to his point of view, it's true. He's saying that these parties are the reasons why people are divided. So he's trying to reduce the parties so that we don't end up dividing the people. Am I saying yes or no? No, I'm saying yes from the point of, if parties are going to be used to divide the people, let them be reduced. At the point of no is, parties should, such a statement should not be used to bring one multi-party democracy. Because you know it, Africa will be taken over by young leaders, whether you like it or you don't like it, because change is coming.
Yes. Alright. Niko live tu nimepick maswali kadhaa ambayo wanauliza. Si mimi.
Hello people.
Yes. So kuna mtu hapa anauliza, why are people paying SHA yet those in power take our money?
But I've said it. It's bad leadership. Kenya should be, it's just the same question I'm asking you. Why are you going to India? Yet the best nurses are from Kenya. America ships the best nurses from Kenya. So what does it tell you about medicine? Our medical facilities. When the president of Tanzania was ill, where did he come? Kenya. Where do presidents come to hide? So Kenya is like a mother, is like a motherboard of this whole continent.
Capital of Africa.
It's like completely, you know, it's not because of necessarily the GDP. We have superior nations with a bigger GDP, but there's just something about Kenya that makes Kenya the hub of Africa, you know. And if these things are given a priority, SHA system costed how much? Around 104 billion. 104 billion. I did an analysis through, you know, we built an AI voting system, you know that, right?
Yes.
So the same team that we built it, we sat down and we analyzed the system, the health system, the one for SHA. We could have built that system with just few millions. Did I say 1 billion? Did I say 50 million?
No.
Just few millions could have built that system. But you know, if you say that, it has one, two, people don't reason anymore. People are just trying to speak things that don't even matter. We could have built that system with very little money. And I challenge our leaders. If you think what we are saying is a lie, I give you a challenge. Put us on the table. Let me bring what we have built that is equal to SHA. Let me bring it on the table. Not something we are going to build. Mark my word.
Alright. Swali ingine pia. The same day umekuwa na event, Sifuna amekuwa na event wakiwa na babu huko Kitengela. Nimepitia comment na pia niliona kwa mitandao watu walikuwa na waeka pamoja, wanakuweka wewe hapo, wanaweka Sifuna hapo, wanaweka babu hapo. Alafu wanauliza what do you think about this government? Yani wanasema sasa nyinyi mkichukua usukani sasa. Okay, ni wao wanasema. Nauliza based to them. Wanasema okay, walikuwa wanaisema hawa wakiweza chukua serikali inaweza kuwa mzuri. Labda tu mimi niulize, je, wewe unaonaje hapo? Unaweza juu hapo the narrative ilikuwa mjoin pamoja push.
You see, this joining issue has been the problem.
Yes.
Many people join people that are influential. Like right now, I know Mr. Sifuna, let me use the word, is a hot cake right now. And ODM did the biggest mistake, which was to, in my point of view, they should have sat down and seen how they could have. Hakuna nyumba ina vita. Lakini ukipeleka vita yako kwa majirani, it becomes a rumor. They should have just contained their problems and seen how they can, they can do it. But again, I repeat, church and not politics, church and parties, they're not a family business. So they shouldn't be focused on inheritance to someone in their close family. They should be focused on leaving them to the next person who is the right person for them. I hope you know Peter is not the brother of Jesus physically. But the Bible says, Peter, do you love me? He was left the church, yet he's not the bloodline of Jesus Christ. So we need to stop building political systems on family institutions. So that if in the assumption Raila has left the scene, a great leader like our Right Honorable Raila, the person that should have taken that seat should have been who is right. Do you understand what I'm saying? Not who is family. And by the right doesn't mean young, because we have equally young fools, young ignorant people, young thieves, young what. So the issue is not young or old. The issue is right, whether you are 80 or whether you are 20. So the issue there of joining, many people would now want to join Mr. Sifuna because now he has the attraction. You can find that if he's not careful, people with a different point of view from his, which is to liberate the country, would want to joyride on that. Why? Because for them, they just want someone out, but they don't care what is being brought onto the table. I have no problem working with anyone, provided, I want to make my statements very clear. Na mimi hakuna kitu natafuta, na mimi siogopi kusema. I'm not a politician tutanitisha hapa. I'm a man of God. You know, today the Lord told me in the morning, John C.W., keep going. Any man that puts his hand on it, heaven will deal with him directly. You don't know where we have come from. This is a different realm. I challenge you, CG government, where jaribu. If it means angels stepping here, you will see the glory of God. Anajua hapa ndio sasa mtakata, mtu akose, people will not hear what I was trying to say before. Useme John C.W. challenges anyone to touch him. That's not what I say. But because there's a narrative, you media people try to Now, I have no problem, but these are my conditions. I will only work with anyone that is willing to fight corruption. Now, not just fighting it. Let us open the books from 1963. 1963. 50 what acres was stolen here. This is the person that stole it. No favorism. That person kuja hapa turudishie hata tutaki kukufunga. Now, sasa hata tukikufunga tutakufunga. We will arrest you later after you have given us our property. Now when the property comes back, let it be divided to the people. Till now, the people that fought for independence still do not have property to show. What kind of a nation is that? 2, we are willing to change the whole education system. We are willing to deal with any corrupt person, provided is from you and any other so-called leader, young or old. You will see John C.W. on the table. Apart from that, do you know, can I tell you, do you know how many parties have been called, they have come to my office to negotiate? You know how many parties are negotiating? The whole can I say it publicly?
Yes.
Ministry of Interior. You think we're just talking here? You think if I wanted to join right now, you know I'm a voice in this nation by the grace of God. If I wanted easy, do you think I'd be standing here alone? I am standing alone simply because of one reason. I am not here to be a minister of CG transport. I'm not here, that's called power sharing. I am here for one reason alone, to change Kenya. If it means me being a toilet cleaner to change Kenya, I will become. It doesn't matter to me. So I'm willing to work with anyone, provided the conditions are clear. Condition number 1, free the people of Kenya. Condition number 2, go after corruption, whether he's your tribe or not. Condition number 3, creating a good culture full of morals, and among many other things.
As we wind up, the last question.
Kwa sababu watu wanauliza, nimeona hapa pia wanasema kuja Kisumu, kuja Mombasa.
Now
Na kama utaenda watakuja.
That's what you are saying.
Or you are live?
Yes, yes.
Oh, there are people following me live?
Yes, yes.
Okay, now this is the thing. I don't know whether I should say it now. Hapana, nyinyi pia nyinyi mnachukua maneno.
Unaweza sema.
But this is the thing. What was shocking is that we have so many people inviting us.
Yeah.
This weekend we'll be in Eldoret. Sema bedroom. Zote ni ma bedroom too.
Oh, wow.
If you know.
You know.
Kamkunji bedroom ya mzee. Sasa tunaingia Eldoret. We'll be at Eldoret. Is it university? University of Eldoret. So then there will be. Can you tell me where else will we be? We'll be in University of Eldoret in the morning. Afternoon we are meeting over, is it 200 or 300 pastors in the same. Then on Sunday we'll be in which which what do you call it? Which we will be in. Give me my phone. Give me my phone. Let me get it myself. We'll be in Kibabi. We are doing a whole. In fact, Western Rift Valley tunaingia on Saturday. Only Eldoret. But so this is the. Let me show you the. Don't know where my assistant is, but here I've seen it. We'll be here. This is the places. Sorry for taking your time. We'll be in Eldoret, University of Eldoret, February 21st. It's called the Future Leaders Summit. And then we will also be in Bungoma National Polytechnic on Sunday, 9 a.m. We'll be there. In the afternoon, we'll be at Kibabi University. We'll be there. On Monday, I will not say now, but it's still a western to us, so we are coming to the western side. And then on Tuesday, we will be at the burial of Nuru Okanga's brother. You know, God rest his brother in peace. So sorry and condolences to the family of Mr. Nuru Okanga. He reached out to me and he told me if I could come. So we'll be in the burial of Mr. Nuru Okanga. I think I'm the chief guest there. But do I say? Sijui hizi matai zangu zinadanganya watu. Yeah, but I'm a little man. So we'll be doing there. So all the people of Eldoret will be working there. Nakuru, I will not say. We have a whole delegation that is coming to see me from Nakuru. We are planning for Nakuru, Kisumu, all those places, Siaya, Bondo. But we are now starting our western tour from, you know, Bungoma University all the way upwards to where Nuru Okanga is. So expect us in your zone. Remember, we are not here to agree. We are here for only one thing, to make a better nation. Put you, Eve and Mary, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about Adam and Eve, male and female. You know, we have a funny generation that creates their own institution. So the family altar is a vital organ in terms of producing quality leaders. And if we take care of our families, to the young men, taking care of our families, taking care of those institutions, they give a better standard of raising quality leaders, because the child is able to see dad, the child is able to see mom, and at the same time, you know, try and build an ecosystem where such fruits are being seen at an early age. So yes, family institutions are a point of view to reckon with, and it's a blessing. Yes, please.
Yeah. The last question is about the Russian guy. So
where is it only vitu zingine, but thank God for wisdom. Sasa which Russian guy?
yeah, we have seen around Kenya ame-expose ladies. So tukaona pia pale kwa church aka-expose one of the ladies. So you can comment something about the Russian guy.
Okay, on that to add on that kwa sababu pia tuliona kuna official government aliingilia kati akasema it's not good kuexpose mtu kama aja kupe ruhusa na vitu kama hizo. Maybe what's your take about?
So this, let me ask a question.
Yeah.
Has this Russian guy dealt with any underage person?
No.
So that's not a conversation here. Let's deal with conversations that affect the nation. Is a non-issue in Kenya. Some things I think are a decoy from the original thing that is happening. Me, I would actually deal with it if it's rape. Have you understood?
Yeah.
If it's forceful or if it's underage. But all those people that I saw there, ni wamama tu na, I mean, watu wako na tumiaka, si ndio?
Yeah, sure.
I want to challenge, has any one of you, you know, let me tell you, men. In fact, I'm seeing all of you here, men. And one lady at the window. But let me tell you, men, Satan's big agenda is not the woman. It's the man. Because he knows if he gets the man, he has the whole family. God's big agenda is the man, because if he gets the man, he has the whole. It's the chances of a woman digressing as compared, I'm not saying they don't, but I'm looking at it in terms of percentage. The chances of a woman digressing as compared to a man is very low. But the chances of a man, or rather, the chances of a woman that if the man is bad, the chances of a woman experiencing bad things is very high. If the man is good, the chances of a woman experiencing good things are very high, and vice versa. So Satan is always after the man. Are you understanding? So Mimi, I will tell you people this, to my brothers, those of you that have a future and they want to build, take care of yourselves. These people will trap you. And once they trap you, they always play the victim. Have you ever noticed it? A lady will come, you take pictures, take video, and then go and post them because the agenda is to, is it rape? No. Were you forced? No. We can't talk about anything that has a mature person accepting it. Mukaenda huko, mukasikia venye mulisikia, and then now you want to come and make it an issue so that we now divert a whole nation. Kanima, who are you, Russian guy? Go back to Russia. You know what we are saying? We don't have time for you here in Kenya. Here in Kenya, we have serious things to discuss. Do you get what I'm saying? We have things like people are dying. We have things like bad governance. We have things like education issues. So, Mr. Russian guy, if the women have accepted you, take them, go with them to Russia. But you cannot come here and say, it is wrong to do what, it is wrong to do what. What were you going there to do? Yeah. Because most of those women sometimes, they just are money mongers.
Yeah, sure.
I know you are given something by them. Did you tell us how much you are given by the Russian guy? So you want us to make you a national figure for what? For having sex? Now today, at the people are online. Me, I built a pure blockchain system. People don't want it to trend. But someone that is coming from a confused person coming from a great nation, now we want to make it trend in Kenya at Izjira. Go away. In fact, don't just Russia. Let's bring Chinese guys, Russian guys, Indonesian guys. Come. Because that's your own choice. As long as it's not underage, and as long as it's not rape, even if it's, you are 40 and you have been raped, we will talk.
Yeah.
But as long as none of them is saying they were forced, they were raped, because if you look at those clips, are you seeing any force there?
No.
So it was your choice. Deal with the consequences. God bless Kenya.